Okay, great. For those of you that are here with me right now, the purpose of this session that we're going to do together is to really walk you through what are some of the rituals of millionaires and multimillionaires. And what I've come to know from the 40 years that I've been studying personal development and speaking on it, and of course 25 years in business, and of course applying it as well, is that there are absolutely certain things that very wealthy people do that are consistent, that are habitual, that they're doing every single day. In addition to their understanding of these materials, in addition to their attitude, there are things that they're actually doing that are significantly contributing to their success. And it's like what Earl Nightingale said. He said, a lot of people, they go to the stove and they'll say this, give me the heat, and then I'll give you the wood. Well, it doesn't work that way. We all must do the work first before we're going to experience the benefits of the work. And when I'm talking about the words, the work, what am I meaning by that? And the reason why I want to explain a little bit more about what I mean by the words, the work, is because sometimes there's confusion. And I remember not that long ago, I was speaking and there was a gentleman that was on the call who was very confused by those words, the work. What do you mean? I got to go to work? I said, no, the work is on yourself. The work is what I teach. What I teach in all my programs and all these events that I do on social media, it's all about whether you're actually implementing what you're hearing or what you're observing or learning. You see, it's not enough to just go to these sessions, whether you're watching a video on YouTube or whether you're actively at an event, a live event, or whether you're in a program. It's not enough to just study this stuff or read the books. You absolutely must be implementing. So I want to encourage you as I walk you through the rituals, the morning rituals of millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires as well, that you think about how will you apply this into your life, all right? Because that's where you're really going to experience the benefit, is when you're applying this in your life. And so I commend you for being here. I think it's wonderful that you're here and that you've joined us and that you're here. Now, what I also suggest that you do is block off the next 30 minutes. We're going to be together for about 30 minutes. It's not a lot of time. Block that time off so you give this your undivided attention. Now, I would only do that if you want better results. Now, I want better results. I'm getting great results now, but it's always about, humans are always about more, getting more and more and more. And they say that success is really about the journey. And I was thinking about that on the weekend, and I really believe it's true. Now, what you'll find is that even as you are achieving your goals and you create some milestones for yourself and you get there, that you're going to find that you're going to set a new goal and another milestone. And that's what they mean by life is a journey, or success is a journey. It's about continually growing and expanding, becoming more, experiencing more. Oh dear. Hang on here a second. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Good. Little technical difficulty on the Instagram thing here. And so I'm really grateful to be here with you this morning. Now, we had some questions that were submitted in advance, and I'm going to get to some of those questions as well. But the first thing I want to ask you is, and I know some of you that get on these calls on the live streams that I've been doing and on my videos, is that you are consistent with watching these. And I want to thank you for that. And I suspect that they've been implementing you in some way, in a very positive way. So if so, great. And I'd love to hear about it as well. I love seeing the comments either online or hearing from you, whether you're going to email me and share with me. I actually had a call this morning, one of my subscribers, a lady that is a subscriber to my Morning Manifestation, which is a free video series that anyone and everyone can sign up for at morningmanifestation.com. Hi, Carlin. Good to see you here. Anyways, when she's been a subscriber for quite some time, and she also is in a couple of my programs. And she sent me an email last week and she asked if we could get on the phone together. Now, I rarely do that, and I can't do that with everyone that requests because my schedule is pretty busy and I've got travel and speaking engagements and my own programs, etc. But I said yes, and I got on a call with her this morning, and she shared with me about some of the positive things that have been happening in her life. But what I really found fascinating is that she's very committed to the study, understands that it's all about an evolution, right? We're just constantly, consistently getting better and better and better all the time. And that's really what you want to do. You want to become a serious student, because That's what life is all about, is producing even better results. And, whatever your reasons for doing it is really your reason. There's no right or wrong reason. Why are you doing this? Why would you want to do this? It really comes down to your own purpose, your own reason, your own why. What really drives you? What are you looking to create? What are you looking to experience in your life? So morning rituals, the reason why we chose to focus on this particular subject is because it is a common habit of highly successful people that they all, not some, all of them have morning rituals, every single one of them. And the morning rituals are all pretty much the same or similar to some degree. And it's not a matter of you have to do all of them or any of them to create success. The reason why I recommend them is because if you want to get better results or you have a particular goal that you're going for, your morning rituals can definitely start your day in the right way. And also it can be the thing or things that really put you in alignment with your outcome, which is exactly how you manifest perfectly, seamlessly, harmoniously, is by feeling as if your desired outcome is already here right now. And so these morning rituals will help you do that. Now, one of the questions that was submitted was a question, which of course I'm going to be covering off in today's session, is what are my morning rituals? So I'm going to talk about what my morning rituals are, and then I'm going to talk to you about what some other highly successful multimillionaire, billionaire people use as their morning rituals. And you can decide what you're going to choose, what you're going to do a little bit differently tomorrow morning. And make a decision right now that you are going to improve upon your morning rituals. Another thing that I want to mention is we got a lot of people that are on this call that some names I'm recognizing that I've seen here many times before. Anna's here, Sanova's here, Beate's here. We've got Carlin is here as well. Tammy, I saw, was online as well. There's so many people that have been on these calls, on these free events multiple times over and again. And I think that's phenomenal because that says something to me about who you are. You're somebody who's obviously committed to your success. So I'm very grateful that you're here. It's always a pleasure to serve you. And it's really why I've been put on this planet, is to serve you, is to help make a difference in your life as well. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because I've done it in my own life. So my own life was a complete, utter mess that I cleaned up the mess. And I just got very serious, very focused, and just decided I'm going to make a big difference in my own life and help make a big difference in other people's lives as well. So when I wake up in the morning, first of all, someone had asked the question, what time do I wake up? I generally wake up when I wake up. Like, I don't have a specific time. So when I wake up, I'll get up. And although there might be times when I wake up and it's 1:30 in the morning, I just go to the little girl's room and then go back to bed because it's too early. But if I wake up, and this morning I woke up, it was 6:10 a.m. And I woke up, it's still dark outside at that time. I look at the clock, it's 6:10. I got up. I had had a great night's sleep, went to bed last night at 11 p.m. and slept 7 solid hours. Felt great. So I got up. The first thing that I do, the very, very, very first thing that I do is I grab my gratitude journal, which sits beside my bed. And part of the gratitude journal, what's in my gratitude journal, are my bank statements. And so my bank statements are I have I have my investment report, I have my bank statements, and I have my sales reports for the business. And these are mocked up documents. These are documents that I created myself. So what did I do? How did I create them? Why did I create them? And I want to talk about this because this is an important morning ritual. And the reason why it's an important morning ritual is based on denying the evidence of the senses, which means that if your financial situation is not currently where you would love it to be, then this is a technique that you can use as a daily morning ritual that can really help you to create more wealth and more abundance in your life. So if this is something you love, listen up, follow through. Okay, listen up and follow through. And so what I did was I went online to my bank account. Now, if you don't have your bank account online, you can still do this. All right, you can still do it with a printed bank statement, and you can just modify it. So I go online to my bank statement, which is where most people go online today to look at their bank statements, right? You could do this with credit card statements. You could do this with a line of credit statement if you have one. You could do it with a mortgage statement if you have one. And what you do is you go online and you just highlight the area that you want. You copy, paste, and stick it into a Word document. Or you can stick it into, if you use Pages, if you're a Mac user and you use Pages, you could just stick it into a Pages document. I take the logo from the bank, I copy it, and I paste it onto these documents. So I have the logo, and it's in color. It's legitimate. It looks real, right? And I got my bank accounts there. Or if it's an investment report, same thing. I can see my investment reports online. So I can go there and get the investment company. I can do copy, paste, bring it into a Word document. And then that is where you can modify. This is for your eyes only. So it's not, you're not doing anything illegal. This is not fraud or anything like that. This is for your eyes only. What you're creating is a tool that will cause you to feel the alignment and the connection to what you love. Like I look at my statements first thing. Now, I used to grab my gratitude journal and start writing in my gratitude journal. Well, I've started to look at my statements first. They sit beside my bed. I've got this big sign that says gratitude. I have another sign, which I'll talk about in a minute. And so I'm looking at these statements. So when I created them in a Word document, I put in the amounts that I would love in those accounts. Same thing for the sales report, same thing for the investment accounts, same thing for if you have a credit card and you want to keep your credit. Like I've seen a lot of people where they'll take a credit card statement, they put zero balance and, account closed or whatever, and then they end up having some financial challenges, which creates that. All right. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, like I still show on my statements, I have lines of credit available, zero balance, credit card statements, all this credit's available, zero balances, always paid in full, paid on time, or paid early. All right. So those are the kinds of things that you can have on your statements. Show that you still have the credit available. Little hint, but it can make a big difference. And okay, so once you do that, then print them out. And so I print them out. I laminated them as well. I have a laminating machine. And so I laminated my statements. And then I look at them. I take them with me wherever I go. I'm not at home right now. I'm in Florida right now. On Thursday, I'm going to be in Los Angeles, and then I'm going to be back, and then I'm going to another place, and then we're going to be flying back to Ottawa, and lots of travel. But they go with me and last weekend this weekend that just passed, I was in Disney for the weekend. I brought them with me. And so it's not like when you get into these morning rituals, this is not something you do once in a while. This is not something that you do from Monday to Friday. This is something you do 7 days a week. And when you're doing this 7 days a week, you're looking at your statements. But here's the key. All right. This is really, really important that you do this. Get emotionally involved in it. All right. Like you're looking at those statements, but really feel it. Really feel it. Like if you're looking at a statement that shows that you've got multiple millions and millions and millions of dollars in your account or in your accounts or whatever it is that you're looking at, what does that feel like? Right? Now that your dream is fulfilled, or now that your bank accounts are full, or now that your investment accounts are to the tune of multiple millions, what does that feel like? You've got to connect to the feeling states of it already being manifested in your life. Now, you can do this exercise. Like if you wake up at 6:10 in the morning, you should be finished doing this at about 6:12. Right? Doesn't take a long period of time. It's fast, fast, fast. You could look at it, or now I have 3 of them that I look at, but you could look at it and then have that done in a matter of minutes or seconds. It doesn't even have to take 2 minutes. It could take 10 seconds that you're looking at it. But that's the point. Like when you look at those statements and you really connect to what that feels like, wow, it feels so good. It really does feel good. So I absolutely suggest that you do that. And it's something, it's fun to do. It's an enjoyable exercise. It can be, and it can be very, very rewarding. Now I'm going to talk about what I'm doing today as my morning rituals, but I also want to talk about some of the things that I've done in the past as I was building my confidence and building my self-esteem as well. Because sometimes my morning rituals will change, not drastically and not often, but sometimes they'll change. For example, I just shared with you what I do with the bank statements. Well, that is something that I've been doing for, I don't know, not that long. I started doing that in 2019. So I haven't really been doing that very long. And so you can change them up if you want. You may already have some morning rituals that you're doing and you've just decided that you're going to change it up a little bit. The next thing that I do with my morning ritual is I grab my gratitude journal and I start to write down things that I'm grateful for. Now, in my gratitude journal, I started doing this gratitude exercise back in the 90s. So I've been doing it a long time now, well over 20 years. And the purpose of doing gratitude is obviously it's a feel-good experience, right? But what we're grateful for expands because what you give attention to expands. What emotions you're feeling will draw to you like energy. So if you're feeling grateful for things or something or whatever you're feeling grateful for, you're going to draw more of that back into your life. I write in my gratitude journal things that are already in my life that I'm already grateful for. And I also write into my gratitude journal things that are coming in the future, but I write them as if they're here now, because how you manifest is to feel as if your goals or goal is here now, not something that's coming to you. You write it, you feel it as if you are already feeling it today in this very moment. And so when I'm writing my gratitude journal, I always start with the first two gratitudes that I write are the same. They're the same. If you looked at my gratitude journals over the years, it's exactly the same things that I'm writing. And I'm writing about my family's health. I'm talking about my husband and I. And anyways, so those two things are very personal. I won't tell you what they are, but they're two very personal things. Excuse me. And I start every day with those two things. And then I move on to a number of other things. And I just keep writing gratitudes and gratitudes and gratitudes of things that I'm so grateful for. Now, this is an exercise everyone should do. Now, as I'm going through these morning rituals of the multi-millionaires, excellent. Okay, great. Gail says she does hers every day as well. As I'm going through these morning rituals, I do want to mention to you that some of them you may do, some of them you may not, but gratitude is a ritual, a morning ritual that I believe everyone should do, without a doubt. Everyone should do. The next morning ritual that I do is I read affirmations. And the affirmations that I read are carefully chosen. And these are affirmations that I've written myself. And they're affirmations that I find have been inspiring. I've read them perhaps, or like through the study that I'm involved in, whether they're affirmations that I learned from Neville Goddard or Earl Nightingale or Dr. Joseph Murphy, or there's one, Ralph Waldo Trine, or Napoleon Hill. So I read these affirmations every single day. And the affirmations, when I'm reading them, same thing. Now, affirmations I've been doing since the 80s. So affirmations I've been doing for almost 40 years now. And when I read my affirmations, I will read them with enthusiasm. Again, it's about connecting to the emotion. I will connect to the emotion of reading them, like really feel it, really feel it. And when you do this over and over again, repetitively, it becomes a part of who you are. I find myself just almost casually, I'll be out walking the dog, my husband and I'll be out, and they'll just pop in my mind because I've been saying them so many times. So I do those affirmations. And then the next thing I do is after I've done my affirmations, is I listen to my Power Life script. And so my Power Life script, and powerlifescript.com is where you need to go if you don't have a Power Life script now. Absolutely create a Power Life script for yourself. My Power Life script is a description, a detailed description of me living my amazing dream life, and with all the emotion as if it's all happening right now. And I just listened to it before we got on our call together here right now, because my husband and I took our dogs for a nice hour-long walk before we got on this call. And so I listened to it minimum 7 times a day, 7 times every single day. And I start in the morning. And I start in the morning because it's a great way to start your day. And also I like to get those seven listens in. My Power Life script happens to be 30 minutes long. So obviously it's a lot. 7 times 30, 7 times 3. It's a lot of listening. Sometimes I listen to it more than 7 times a day. For example, on Thursday, I will be flying to Los Angeles. And one of the things that I really love about listening to a Power Life script when I'm traveling is that, when you're at the airport and you're going, through security, or you're waiting at the gate and then you're on board, then you're waiting to take off and all of that, I can be listening to that as I'm walking, as I'm, getting movement, rather than sitting there and reading. Reading, of course, is phenomenal as well. And so that's something else that I do, morning rituals. Now, after I have my shower in the morning, I also have rituals. And those rituals are to do affirmations in the mirror. So I do mirror work. And I do these affirmations every single day in front of the mirror. I memorize them. So I don't have them written down anymore. But before I memorized them, I did have them written down. And so I would read them every day, but again, in front of the mirror. Now, that's something you can tape to your mirror. You can put up on the mirror. And that could be the thing that you do. I also read my goal card every day. I read my goal card in the morning. It's one particular goal that I have on my goal card, and I connect with that goal and really feel the elation of achieving that. The other things that I do in the morning, and this might be a little bit later in the morning, so once I get going and shower or whatever, I'll do some studying. And even if I study just for a few minutes, like I always have books around me, I carry them with me. I've got them on my computer as well. I've got them on my phone. So I study every single day. Now at 8 a.m. in the morning, I have another morning ritual that I do with with a couple of my friends, accountability buddies of sorts, if you will. And we do this every morning, where we'll get on a Zoom call and we will read from The Science of Getting Rich. And we'll just read a little bit, maybe a couple paragraphs. We'll discuss it. We declare our goals to each other, and then we discuss what are we doing that day that is accomplishment oriented. So what are the things that you're doing today that are going to take you in the direction of your goal? And I have become like a robot with all of this stuff, not like an emotionless robot, but meaning that it's so habitual for me, I don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just habit formed. It takes a while. So you've got to invest the time and the energy to develop these habits. Now, sometimes people ask me about visualization. Visualization is something that I'm doing all day long. And what I mean by that is, if I'm walking to the other room to get a glass of water, or I'm doing laundry, as I was doing earlier this morning, or I'm out with the dogs walking and I'm listening to my Power Life script, I'm visualizing. I'm seeing it. You can visualize with your eyes open. If I'm driving down the road, I'm visualizing. I'll see an audience in front of me. I'll see the smiling faces of them. I'll see, before I took my grandson to Disney on the weekend, I actually saw us already there having a great time, and we had the most magical time. And so visualizing is something that I don't actually carve out a particular time during the day where this is my visualization time and don't anyone disturb me at this time, which is nothing wrong with that, frankly. That's a great thing to do. And so, visualizing is, I think, an important part of it. And I think what's really most important is that in all of this doing, and all these doing things, the doingness, it's most important that you're connecting emotionally to your outcomes. I recorded a morning manifestation message this morning, which you'll see in a couple days. And I was talking about dominant feelings. Dominant feelings are really what's going to determine what's going to show up in your life. So if your dominant feeling is on lack, if your dominant feeling is on not what you want, then that's what you're going to attract. Even though you might be doing these morning rituals, you might be, doing affirmations, you may be, sorry, I just saw a question come in, so it distracted me. You may be, I don't even know what I was saying. Anyways, that's okay. I'll come back to that in a moment. I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to head on over. Oh, wait, there was one other thing I wanted to mention before I start taking questions, because I know there's a lot of questions that are pouring in. We might go a little longer than 30 minutes today because there's so many questions that are coming in. So Danielle is asking the question here, do I take breaks from it sometimes, like when I went to Disney? I went to Disney World. No, I never take a break from this. Never, ever, ever. So even though I was at Disney World this weekend, I got up early. And my grandson was still asleep. My daughter-in-law was here as well. And while they were still sleeping, I did my morning rituals. So they were already done in advance before they got up and we headed on the road. Plus, I had my earbuds in throughout the day while I was listening to my Power Life script. Never miss. I do not take breaks. Never, ever, 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 ever. What I mentioned earlier is there are some morning rituals that I've done in the past that really helped as well. And one of the morning rituals that I created years ago was I created something called an identity board. And this is a very valuable for you parents to do with your children, really valuable thing. So let's say your desire is to be a phenomenally successful person, earning a certain amount of money or a multimillionaire, whatever it happens to be. And what you do is you get a sheet of Bristol board, like little, large size Bristol board that you can get at any Business Depot or office supply store. And I took a photo of myself and I put it right in the middle. And on top, I said, who is this woman anyway? And then I created a document in Word, and I did it with a different color fonts. And I put words that would describe a highly successful woman. Things like determined, focused, fun, playful, respectful, grateful, professional, phenomenal speaker. Just all these things I listed, boom, 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 pages and pages and pages and or not pages, line and line and line after line of all these words, adjectives that would describe a highly successful multimillionaire woman, businesswoman. And then I printed them and I taped them, or actually I glued them onto this board, this identity board. And it was very beautifully done. It was very vibrant and bright. And every morning I put it on the wall beside my bed. And every morning, this is a morning ritual, I would wake up and I would look at it and say, this is who I choose to be today. This is who I choose to be today. And then at nighttime, when I go to bed, I would look at my identity board that was sitting beside the bed. And I would say, is this who you were today? And if I was, great. And if I felt that I wasn't, that's okay. Because it's like, I will do better tomorrow. And I would never whip myself, because I would never criticize myself, because that does not serve you. You can learn from it, learn from the ways that you've been that day, but make a new decision that you're going to be a better version of who you already are tomorrow, right? We've always got that opportunity. Or when you wake up in the morning, make a decision that that's who you're going to be today. And so that was one of the morning rituals that I had. And over the years, I've done a number of different things when I've been working towards goals. Someone had asked the question on Instagram, do I ever meditate? No, I don't really meditate. I've tried meditation. I've taken meditation courses. I've got a lot of energy. You may or may not know that, but I've got a lot of energy. And meditation, though, I find is a very valuable thing to do. I find that my form of meditation might be different to what other people do. I don't actually sit back, close my eyes, legs in a particular position. But I find that if I go for a drive, like this morning, I drove to the airport and I drove back. It's about 50 minutes one way. And I find that driving is kind of a form of meditation, if that makes any sense to you. And because I'm very relaxed, I'm a very relaxed driver. So unless there's heavy traffic, maybe not as relaxed, but it's up to us whether we're going to be relaxed or not. So my meditation might be when I'm out driving. It might be when I'm out walking. It might be when I'm out on my bike and bike riding. Those could be my forms of meditation. Okay, so I am going to feel, how do you feel about being a multimillionaire? Denise says, thanks for answering. I love that question. You know what? It doesn't really feel any different, to be honest, to when I wasn't a multimillionaire. And let me explain that. I think that's an important question. So thank you very much for asking that. I'll explain what I mean by that. What I mean by that is prior to actually the experience of having the kind of wealth that I have today, I had, because I'm a phenomenal student of Bob Proctor, who's an incredible man. He's been a mentor of mine for 40 years. And I've been following him, and not only him, but many other teachers as well. But he's been my greatest influence in my life as far as a speaker, teacher, mentor is associated to this. And so I was living in my heart space as if I was already a multimillionaire long before the actual event. All right. And this is a really important distinction right here. I was living as if long before the actual event. And that is a really important secret right there. Really important secret right there. You've got to feel it now. And so how long is it going to take? I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take. No one really knows how long it's going to take. There is a gestation period. So you can't just snap your fingers and boom, it's going to show up in your life. There's a period between that you decide that you are now a multimillionaire and that you are enjoying and experiencing the wealth that you would really love, and you feel it today. So let's say you do that and you decide, okay, today I'm really going to feel it. I'm feeling the millions. I'm feeling my net worth is multiple millions, whatever it is, you're feeling it today. And you choose to connect to that emotionally, and you feel it today, you feel it in the next hour, you feel it this evening, you feel it tomorrow morning, and you continue to feel it, it's going to show up in your life. It absolutely will. This is how it works. It absolutely will. Do I do gratitude while I'm driving? Yes, I do gratitude while I'm driving. Thank you for asking that question, by the way. I'm really happy that that question was asked. I do gratitude all day long. Absolutely. So yes, that's a morning ritual. Yes, I'm doing affirmations in the morning, but I do affirmations all day long. It's not that I only do those things in the morning, and I have rituals in the nighttime as well. So I think it's important that you determine, what are you going to commit yourself to today that's going to make the difference in your life? I can't do it for you. Bob Proctor can't do it for you. You've got to do it for you. And when you do it for you and you get into these habits, wow, amazing things happen. And it just feels like magic. It really does feel like magic. Okay, so I'm going to head over to the questions that have been submitted in advance. Thank you very much. Celine's been copying them and pasting them for me. We had some that were submitted in advance. Okay, so the first question that I have here or first question that was submitted in advance was from Vishma. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name properly, and I apologize if not. Is action required to manifesting your dreams by using the law of attraction? Definitely action is required when you're pursuing your dreams. Sorry, I just saw a question here. What if you fail for some time and you go back and forth? That's fine. Just get back on track, get back on track, get back on track. Thank you, Tanya. What a nice thing to say. I love you too. She says, I love you, Peggy. You're full of integrity, genuine and sincere. Oh, that makes me feel so good to see that. I want to capture that screenshot. Thank you so much. Of course, it's captured on Facebook. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. All right. So yes, action is required. Now, I want to just add on to that. Sometimes people ask me, well, what action? What should I be doing? And this is what I absolutely want you to understand. Okay. If you have a goal or a dream life that you're pursuing right now, and you would love to manifest it in your life, and you're listening to what I'm suggesting, you're connecting to it emotionally, you're feeling as if it's here right now, but you don't know what to do. Like, what should I do? I'm going to tell you this. You don't have to know. Thank you. You don't have to know how this is going to happen. You trust and feel as if it's already done. Trust and feel like it's already done. Just do it right now. Just really think about your goal, your dream life is already here right now. God, that feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, you know what? The universe is going to send you the ideas. They're going to pop in your little brain. Boom, boom, boom. You know, I had a meeting this morning with my wonderful team that I'm so blessed with. I'm so grateful for. Selena as an example, and Eric and Trace and Sabrina and I were all on a call together. And someone had asked, I think it was Trace or Selena, someone had asked the question, you know, were you inspired on the weekend? You know, was your mind going while you're at Disney World? It's like, absolutely, my mind was going at Disney World. I mean, I was learning so much. And as I was, you know, going through these different things and going through the different experiences, especially with my wonderful grandson, I was thinking about, wow, I love how Disney as an organization is so committed to the success of their guests. I love that they call them guests. I think that's wonderful. By the way, my grandmother was friends with Walt Disney, good friends with Walt Disney. And so my grandmother, this is my father's mother, who died in 1972, I believe. I didn't know her very well because she was very famous and she traveled the world and very active. And so she was friends with Lucille Ball. And I remember one time Vivian Vance, who was on I Love Lucy, came to our cottage. I didn't even know who Vivian Vance was at the time. But why am I talking about my granny and Walt Disney? There we go. Back to Walt Disney. Anyways, I was thinking about how they're always committed to improvement, right? Making it better, and how they're always adding new things. And I think that's a really important lesson for all of us. I mean, you guys are here, we're together, you're obviously committed to better. And I love that about you. I love to be here to serve you, to help you create better and better results in your life. So yes, actions required. And we're talking about morning rituals. That's an action. Okay. So the next question was, how do you use law of attraction in the morning? Well, that's what we just covered, doing the rituals. What are my first 3 activities? Covered that as well. What time do you wake up in the morning? Start your morning routine. I wake up when I get up, different times, 6 o'clock, 5:30 sometimes, 7 o'clock sometimes, never later than 7. It's rare that I actually sleep in. 7 o'clock would be sleeping in for me. Do you ever go into debt when starting out your business? Did you go into debt when starting out your business, and how did you get your first clients? I'm laughing, and I love that you asked that question. Thank you so much. Absolutely, I was in debt when I started my business and scared. How I got my first clients was by getting out and networking, like going to live events. Like, this is before the World Wide Web was the way it was today. I mean, I incorporated my business in 1994. I had a website in 1995, but I was one of the only 18 people that did. I mean, it was early days. I've been involved in the World Wide Web and marketing online since it started up. But it was early days. So I just went out networking. I got involved in different organizations and different groups so I could meet people and told them what I was doing, what I had to offer. And that's how I got my first few clients. Okay, what do you think is best, guided or free visualizations of your dreams and goals? Hey, whatever works for you. I mean, I don't know about best. Personally, I find my Power Life script is the best thing that I've ever used for achieving success, because the Power Life script puts you in harmony with and puts you in what's called vibrational alignment with your dream life. So my Power Life script is definitely the thing that I've used that's made the biggest difference in my life. Okay, let's keep going here. We're going a little bit longer than expected, but that's all good. Happy to be here. We're going to be doing another one of these, by the way, on Wednesday at 3 p.m. as well. So if you can mark that off in your agenda and join me again. Okay, so Yasser is asking, I'm currently reading The Art of Acting. My question used, is it okay if instead of acting as if in this reality, I simply create one in my imagination and act there? Yeah, I mean, as long as you're feeling as if you already have that which you desire, that's perfect, and acting, it's, sometimes we hear different terms and sometimes they don't mean the same to us. So just, make it your own. Just modify it, massage it so that it's working for you. And when I say working for you, I mean that you're really feeling it. You're feeling as if you already have that goal. All right, KBS says, when you visualize after a point, some signs start to show up. What does this mean? It's the universe talking to you. Those are messages. That's perfect. I love it. Excellent. And that's fine. You know what? You could start visualizing perhaps, or even meditating, and you'll get a message and boom, act on it. Sometimes they'll send you messages at the most odd time. Danielle, okay, I already answered that one. She asked if I ever take breaks. Sonova says, do you have a number of things you add to your gratitude list, or just as many that come to you that day? Yeah, thanks, Sonova, for asking. I actually have the same 2 that are always there. Quite often there's some that are repeated over and over again. But there's often new ones as well. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful to be here to serve you. Okay, can you tell us anything about winning the lottery jackpot, says Denise. I love it. Okay, great. Okay, Lindy, I see your message here. How long does it take to get in the state of feeling as the goal is fulfilled? It should happen like that. Can happen like that. Like I ask you right now, Lindy, just imagine right now, whatever that goal is that you have it right now. It's already fulfilled. Just think about that. What does it feel like? Does it feel good? Does it feel relief? Are you feeling happy? Bam, you did it right there. That's how long it can take. So thank you for asking. Okay, so Denise, I'm going to, I don't know if we have any other questions right now, but I'm going to wrap up perhaps with this question. Tell us anything about winning the lottery jackpot. I actually work with a client. He was involved in my author program, and he wrote a book about winning the lottery jackpot. And what was fascinating is, and I just love this guy's sense of humor and his personality. He just has a wonderful, wonderful demeanor. And he had not won the lottery jackpot. As a matter of fact, he still hasn't won the lottery jackpot. Now, I believe I've won the lottery jackpot with my husband, Denis, because he's the most amazing man. And I'm so blessed to have him in my life. So I often tell people I won the lottery of love. And because I attracted him into my life. He's just so amazing and he's incredible. And I feel so blessed to have him in my life. And the thing is with the universe is you can declare certain goals. You can demand goals. As a matter of fact, I have a book I'm going to be releasing very, very soon called The Demand Principle. And it's based on that. Demand it of the universe. And you can demand it of the universe. But the challenge is you cannot tell the universe how it's going to happen. Right? Can't tell it how it's going to happen. That's the universe's job. Your responsibility is to feel as if you already have that what you want. So let's think about winning the lottery. What is it about winning the lottery that's attractive? Having the money, right? And having the freedom. But it's not the money we want. What we really desire, or what people desire when they have money goals, is the freedom. It's what can you do with the money, or what will you do with the money? That's really the objective. And so the objective is to feel that. So therefore, if you're declaring as a goal that you've won the lottery, it's like you're telling the universe, this is how it has to happen. And let the universe figure it out. Decide how much money you would love to have, whatever that number is. And most people, when they're thinking about millions, they probably don't need as much as what they're thinking. I remember one time working with a gentleman who was a client of mine. I says, what's your goal? And he says, to be a billionaire. And I said, why? And he said, well, it just seems like a good number, a lot of money. And I said, what are you going to do with the money? He's like, I don't know. And I said, seriously, think about it, right? Like, seriously, think about it. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong or there's anything wrong with going for billionaire status. But I find that it's rarely about the money. If you look at the billionaires that we have today, I suspect that very few of them actually had a goal to be a billionaire. They may have had a goal to create something extraordinary and bring it to the world, or they may have had a goal to bring greater value in some way, or they may have had a goal to follow their passion and entertain people, whatever it was. I suspect it wasn't about the money. And there's a wonderful book that my friend and mentor, Bob Proctor, wrote called It's Not About the Money. I don't do what I do for the money. I appreciate the money and I earn really good money, but I don't do what I do for the money. I don't actually have to work anymore. I could quit today. I could just shut it all down and just retire, which, I'm 61 years of age. A lot of people at my age, my parents were both retired at my age, but they died at a young age. I'm not saying that you die when you retire either. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm really trying to say is that when you're really connected to your reasons, whatever they are, right? Like, I love what I do because I love helping people. I love making a difference because my life was a bloody mess. I was trying to find another word for bloody, but that's the word that came out of my mouth. So it was a real, absolute, upside down, disgusting mess. I was a mess emotionally. And it's a painful place to be. I don't want anyone to ever experience the pain that I was in. And you know what? Emotional pain we can't see necessarily on the outside. Although sometimes it's reflected when you see people walking with their heads down, or they don't smile and they don't feel good, or they don't look good. Sometimes that's a reflection of an unhappy person. So I was miserable and I just turned my life around. But I love doing what I'm doing so much. I love to know that I'm making a difference in someone's life, whether it's one person, 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, whatever it is. Just really, really want to make a difference in people's lives. So when you're thinking about, you asked the question about lottery winning. So when you're thinking about winning the lottery, just think about, what would you love financially? What would you love your net worth to be? How much money would you love to have in your bank account? What would you love to earn? And just declare that as these are your goals. This is not even your goals. Well, they could be your goals, but you're living it now. You're connected to it now. You're feeling it now. And that really relates to that question about how fast can it take it? Bam. And honestly, if you're not feeling as if it's here now, you're not doing it right. That's it. You're out of alignment. If you don't feel like it's here now, you are out of alignment. All right. So get yourself in alignment, create some morning rituals that are going to make a big difference in your life, and get on with the work right away. So that's my wrap for today's call. We're going to be back again Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Come on back, join me, tell your friends to make it a watch party, if you will. But I look forward to being back with you guys again and serving you again in a couple of days. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Look forward to serving you some more. Okay. Bye-bye for now.